Hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of POK Experience. Today, I want to talk about the I better pass my neighbor mentality that we have in Nigeria. And what's this about? You will have heard this before. I better pass my neighbor. Imagine naming a machine that was built to generate power, which is generator. Imagine naming it I better pass my neighbor. What could lead to that? Where could that be coming from? In Nigeria, yes, there's no power. In case you don't know, I better pass my neighbor where it came from. So there's no electricity in Nigeria, and in order to generate power for yourself, you need what is called a generator. Now we have different type of generator, different sizes. We have the big ones, we have the small and the biggest one. There's a very small generator that is like the least. It's made by Tiger, and that's the blue color tank. It is what the average Joe could afford if the average Joe wants to buy a generator. But it was later discovered that many people that buy this generator, they were not buying it because they need it. They were buying it because their neighbor had it. They were buying it because in Nigeria, many people live in this type of house that is called face my slap you, face my face you, where you use the toilet is being used by everybody in the house, but 10 tenants in the house, and each tenant maybe so it's a house that has a room of about 10 or 20. Everybody in the house will most likely have a generator. Now, living in that kind of setting, they most likely want to generate power for themselves. So that's a kind of poverty setting, right? So everybody wants to generate power. If one of them buys the generator and is maybe in the night after the day's work, we put it on, there's TV is working, they most likely put a Nollywood movie, and everything is good. Kumbaya, that's the peak of enjoyment at that particular level. So the kids of the other tenants of the they want to go into that room that has light. Maybe about 10 people are living in the house, and just that room we have light. I don't want to go and watch the movie with them. Of course, the parents of those kids they will not be happy because they don't want quote unquote insult. These are the things that are common in that kind of setting. So they'll go buy that generator too, so that when the neighbor puts his own on, he can also put their own on. You get. So the generator was nicknamed I better pass my neighbor. They were not buying it as a result of need, they were buying it as because their neighbor had one. Now, for this to happen in a broader sense, that's what I'm going to. For a whole country to have this belief, to nickname something like this, it means psychologically we have a mentality like that. It's not just Nigerian as well. I'm talking about the mentality where you are comparing yourself to your neighbor. It's not just Nigerians. It's translated back. I mean, we saw Cain and Abel story. The whole thing was still I better pass my neighbor. Cain was still comparing himself to Abel. He was not dealing with God directly on the basis of, oh God, why didn't you accept my, oh, look at it. It was still comparison. Jordan Peterson in his book 12 Rules for Life had a particular chapter, a rule. Compare yourself to who you are yesterday, not who someone else is today. It is a rule in Jordan Peterson book. Stand alone so that you know how important this comparison thing. And we have this popular saying that comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. So it's not just Nigerian thing, but I want to tell you how this mentality has brought down Nigerians, how this mentality has impeded the success a lot of Nigerians could have made, how you might be exhibiting this mentality as well, and you don't know, and maybe you can do some soul searching and try to fix up. Because I used to think like that as well. So Again, you have to know that if, on POK experience, I don't come here to come and absorb myself that hey, I'm a good person. I've been able to fix the problem of my life, and no, that's not what I'm doing here. You know, right? What I'm doing here is, hey, guys, I'm figuring some things out, and how about we figure it out together? Hey guys, look at this person I found interesting on the public space. I want to have some discussion with him. How about you take a listen? That's what we do here on POK experience. So back to our topic, I better pass my neighbor. This has led to what most psychologists have always called the social comparison theory, where you compare yourself to other people, you believe the success of somebody is drawing you back and all of that. So how is this mentality affecting Nigerians? Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. Many people are poor in Nigeria. 90% of people are poor in Nigeria. They are living in abject poverty. Now, if your neighbor is your base of comparison, it means you are comparing yourself to poverty, and your goals will most likely be shit. I want you to understand what I'm trying to say here. I better pass my neighbor. The reason most of the people in that kind of setting always buy that same generator. I know somebody wants to go and buy a generator in the locality. It's I better pass my neighbor. It is not because some of them could not afford something higher than that, but their basis of comparison is that particular generator. That is the goal. They could not even see what is possible. I'll talk about how this. You don't know how this is affecting you. Let me give you an example. I used to work in a company that I asked for increase in salary, and somebody told me that, hey, why are you asking for increase in salary? You are the highest paid in this company. And now, you know, an average Nigeria would be happy to hear that he is the most paid, he is the highest paid in this company. And at that point, he's going to retreat back and say, okay, I'm the boss here, I'm the leader here, I'm the one that owns the generator here. I own the better pass my neighbor generator. They don't own it, everybody else don't own it, so I'm the king. I'm good, kumbaya, everything is fine. That is what the person is expecting from me as an average Nigerian. But I didn't do that. No. The basis of my comparison, why I'm requesting for an increase in pay, it's not because I want to earn more than other people. I don't even know what other people are earning. I don't even care what other people are earning. I look at my work, I look at what I'm delivering, I look at the result I'm pulling in, and I felt I deserve more. Then I put it forward and I asked. So the better pass my neighbor could have crippled me in that particular instance. Could have. Like, I would have said, oh, okay, don't worry, don't increase my salary anymore. So far, I'm better than everybody. That is what the better pass my neighbor mentality is doing to many Nigerians out there. It could be doing you. Number one thing that it does is that it lowers your potential. No, is it your potential? It lowers the possible goal you could set. If it affects your goal setting, let's call it that. I better pass my neighbor mentality. It affects your goal setting mentality. And how does it do that? Because for you to set goals, you have to compare yourself to some. The way Jonathan Peterson explained, compare yourself to who you are yesterday, not who someone else is today, is that he said you have to compare yourself to something. It is not possible not to compare yourself, because if you don't, there will not be growth. You cannot grow. So we have to compare ourselves. We know that constant. We have to do comparison. Comparison must happen. So who do you compare yourself with? Jordan said it is who you are yesterday. Who you are yesterday, not who someone else is today. Because it was saying that the person you're comparing yourself to, you don't know them. Because most likely, most times, what who people compare themselves to is who they see on social media and all of those things. So, I better pass my neighbor mentality affect your goal setting. And how? Number one, it is who you see, it is who you are exposed to, it is what you are exposed to that makes you that you can dream about. Goals are dreams. You are dreaming that, oh, how about I make 10 million naira in a month? If you tell somebody, for example, that, hey, do you know you can be making 10 million naira a month as a 9 to 5 person, the person will most likely tell you, oh, how many people are making that? Immediately the person is asking how many people are making that. That person is already logged into the I better pass my neighbor mentality. What is he doing? He's scanning his neighbor. He's scanning his neighbor. He's scanning his neighbor. My friend, my cousin, my church members. How many of them are even earning 10 million? He does not even see the possibility at all. Why? His neighbors. It's already scanning around him. How many people around me is earning this? So he could not see the possibility. But tell him that, hey, you know you can earn 300,000 naira. It was like, yeah, oh yeah, thank you. You'll be happy. So what I'm going to is that it affects your goal setting mentality because your basis of comparison is already poor. Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. So if you are using your neighbor as your basis of comparison, you are most likely doing shit. Your goals are most likely not big enough. They will not be big enough. That is one. Another thing that this mentality does is the zero sum mentality. Yeah, zero sum thinking. You know zero sum thinking. Zero sum thinking is for you for this thing comes from game theory. For there to be a winner, there have to be a loser. So it's always plus one minus one. And that's not how life works. Many Nigerians have this zero sum mentality. They believe the success of another person is their own failure. If my neighbor buys this, I better pass my neighbor generator. My neighbor is already doing better than me. I need to get mine. You know, right? It's not it happens everywhere. Look at the old if you come from the Igbo culture, you know that not just in Igbo culture alone, everywhere. This marriage list that they always want to give to themselves. This marriage list, if the man wants to get married to the lady, they will write a list and give it to the man. So the man will buy the items on that list and bring it. Now there's this comparison that goes on in the street, whereby the girls want their own list to be the biggest. So if they go for the traditional wedding of a friend in their street, they would look and scan around and say, oh, look at that, our stuff are small, mine will be bigger. Then they want to frustrate the man that they want to marry and write a long list for the man that he will be running around. And that's why you see many young men out there, they're not married. They can never marry because people are killing them with unnecessary lists because of the I better pass my neighbor mentality. Everybody wants to be better than their neighbor. Not that they want to be successful per se. Don't mix it together. They're not same. Wanting to be successful is not wanting to be better than your neighbor. It's different. I know. If you look at it this way, if you call an average Nigerian and say, hey, we want to increase the salary of everybody in this company by 100,000 naira. Everybody is going to get 100,000 naira. But, or we should increase your own salary alone by 50,000 naira. An average Nigeria will pick option B. Don't get me. Listen again. Increase everybody's salary by 100,000, or increase their own salary alone by 50. I don't increase anybody else. They'll pick option B. Why? They will intentionally ignore 100k. They don't want 100k. They want 50k just because everybody else will not have. You see this mentality everywhere. You see it in the way our politicians behave, our youth behave, our celebrities, our entrepreneurs. You see the way they behave. Why do you think a lot of Nigerians don't collaborate? Why do you think we lack collaboration? It's because immediately there's collaboration, both of them don't work. People don't. There's hardly for you to see a company that is working and there's no somebody in the shadows. There's one person that will be big and be the public face, then there's somebody in the shadows. But Nigerians will tell you that all of us wants to be the public face. Nobody wants to be in shadows. Oh, you are the one taking the whole glory. This whole thing will start. Better pass my neighbor mentality. Same. So as I was saying, this mentality cause what is called it cause this zero sum thinking. Zero sum thinking. And the moment you enter the zero sum thinking, progress is far from you already. You can never make it. You need to have the abundance mindset. It is somebody that has the abundance mindset that always have abundance. I'm telling you for a fact. I'm telling you from somebody that grew up having zero sum thinking, and now I have an abundance mindset. And I'm telling you for a fact that you better not stay on the zero sum thinking. You better stop thinking the success of somebody is affecting you. You better stop thinking somebody's success somewhere is making you poor. You better stop thinking there's one witch that is controlling your glory. You better stop thinking somebody caused you. Oh, one person. You better stop thinking anybody have power over your life and they're going to make you poor. Stop it. It doesn't. No. Your success is in your hand. Your success is in your hand. I digress. So what I'm saying is that zero sum thinking, that's what a better pass my neighbor also leads to. It makes people hostile to themselves. Why? The goal is never to be successful. The goal is to be better than the neighbor. In politics, in business. That is why you see two friends, they cannot be business partners. They can't. Because in business, there's nothing like 50-50. Somebody needs to have 51%. Don't get me wrong. Somebody has to be the person that will close the door. Somebody has to be the person that, hey, come rain, come shine, I will be here still pushing this thing. And that person has to have the majority share because that is the highest risk. The person is taking the highest risk. But friends will say, hey, let's do business together. Yeah, 50-50. It doesn't exist anywhere. And that's the way you see two friends, they cannot work together. Nigerians don't understand the concept of partnership. You see a brand that's selling shoes. You see a brand that's selling dress for women. Both of them don't have too much money, but they need to do a campaign. They need to do a promo. Both of them could come together, pay an influencer. The influencer will wear this person's shoe. This influencer will wear this person's bag. They will pay the influencer. They will pay the photographer for the photo shoot. The influencer will post it. Then it will the influencer will collaborate with the shoe brand and the dress brand, and then both of them become successful together. Guess what? They will not do it. Why will they not do it? Because if one person have sales more than one person through that collaboration, the person that did not have the sale is already sad. It's not that she does not have sales at all. Maybe she does not have sales like the other person. It's already sad. It's already wishing the other person bad. Why? Because she's not better than her neighbor. I better pass my neighbor. So it causes zero sum thinking. It causes lack of collaboration amongst us. It causes the social comparison theory, and it affects the way we approach success. Another thing that this mentality does is what we call, let me call it coping mechanism. We always use it as a coping mechanism. We want to, look at my neighbor. Look at him. Now all of us. So far, my neighbor is suffering. I can also suffer too. There's no problem with that. That's why I told you that short story that happened to me, right? Person was telling me, oh, you are the highest paid in this company now. I'm earning how much? And you're saying I'm the highest paid. My money is shit. That's what I'm earning shit. That's what I'm telling you. That. But again, it's pointing me. Look at your neighbor. All of you is earning shit together, so you should be happy. So many of you might have fall into this kind of scenario one way or the other, where you are being forced to think, look at your neighbor, and that you are being forced to not mirror your neighbor this time around. You are being forced to accept whatever level you are on because your neighbor is on the same level. On Twitter, if you know me on Twitter, when conversations around salaries come up, and I'm talking about salaries like, I think I started with this old 800k salary. Kike Lomoshe will be laughing if she hear me saying this. This 800k salary, and I was saying one day that, oh, a family of two cannot live on 800k salary. And people were coming for me. And what were they saying? They were saying, how many people earn 800k in Nigeria? They're telling me to be grateful that if I'm earning 800k, I should be grateful. And why are they saying that? That I am better than my neighbor. I should be grateful. And that's not what I'm talking about. I was saying, based on the current economy, 800k thousand naira salary, it is not enough for a family of two to live a proper middle class life. That is the statement. That is the conversation. And that statement is a fact based on the current economy. It's not possible. That conversation is me talking about how bad the economy is, how bad inflation is affecting us, how useless the naira is becoming. But guess what people were saying? Everybody turned it to, hey, you are better than your neighbor now. You should thank God. You should be appreciative. Why? Because in their own mind, what they always do is they use their better pass my neighbor mentality as a coping mechanism for whatever wrong thing is happening in their life. You talk about the Tinubu economy that is bad, they'll come up with, hey, you're not the only one living in the country. Yes, that's what they will tell you. Everybody's always pointing you to look around you, and they're always telling you to, hey, whatever is around you, accept it like that. You cannot say you want to be successful. Oh, everybody in your family is poor. How dare you say you want to become rich? How dare you? They are going to bring it causes, yes, this thing also causes what they call the crab mentality. The crab mentality. That's why you see many people when they grow up in a neighborhood, in a broke neighborhood, and they become rich, the first thing they do is move out of that neighborhood. Why? It's because of this mentality, the crab mentality. Because everybody around them will not get close to them because they also want to become successful. They will get close just to pull them down. Because, hey, how dare you become rich in a poor neighborhood? You are now better than your neighbor. That is a crime. Especially when your neighbor could not easily go and buy the same generator. You get me now? Because when you become rich easily, suddenly, it is not just the generator that they can go and buy. So they would rather eat a startup. It happens in family as well. In a family, oh, how dare you become rich? How dare you? You have to be like your neighbor. Happen in churches. It happen. I told you what happened at my work. Hey, everybody's earning peanuts. How dare you ask for a salary raise? Look at your neighbor now. Why don't you just accept? So this causes this inferiority complex whereby they are forcing you to use a better pass my neighbor as a coping mechanism for poverty, for earning peanuts, for living a miserable life. So far your neighbors are are also living that miserable life alongside you. Kumbaya, take it like that. Another thing I've seen this oh I better pass my neighbor mentality do to people is it makes people unnecessarily inflate their lifestyle when they start making money. Just like I said, the people buy that generator because their neighbor has the generator, and it does not stop at generator. I'm using iPhone 15 Pro. My friend just bought 16. I don't need 16. She bought 16 because she's a content creator and she wants to improve her video quality or whatever. Or maybe she needed more space on her phone. But me, I do not need 16. Then I went to buy 16. Why? Because my neighbor already bought that generator. My neighbor is already better than me. I need to level up, which is not needed. That is the same mentality that is making her to go and buy a new phone. You see a lot of people, it makes them inflate their lifestyle unnecessarily, which makes them stay poor. Because the money they should have invested, the money they should have saved, the money they should have used for business, they start using it for consumerism. Oh, my friend just bought a bag. Oh, let's go there. I want to that bag too. Hey, see that 500K dress that is raining? I want it. Why? I don't need it. I don't need the dress. But how dare my neighbor buy that dress? I want the dress too. My colleague at work just bought a new Mac. Why will he buy a new Mac? Why? I need to buy that Mac too. This mentality has made many people go bankrupt, has made many people not to be able to scale their life, has made many people to go into debt because I better pass my neighbor. If my neighbor there get better than me, I have to level up. I have to level up, which is not so. Nobody's forcing you. We need to start developing this idea of wanting to be successful without not wanting to be better than your neighbor, because it is always not going to end well. I'm not saying don't look at your neighbor. You can look, you can learn from your neighbor, but you have to understand that your neighbor is a standalone person and you're also a standalone person with different contexts, different parents, different, you know, no, your neighbor has a family member in America that sent in $100 every month, but you don't have that. But you don't know that he can easily afford that generator. Why you cannot easily afford it? Why you are going bankrupt to buy the generator? He bought the generator from his own leftover money after saving, after investing. That your neighbor at work is anyway more than you. He has 2 3 jobs merged together. 50% of his salary, that's what he used to buy his new Mac. But you only had one job, and all of your savings for the year is what you spent on buying a new Mac. You have the people you are comparing yourself to, the neighbors you want to be better than, the people you want to shame, the people you want to show that you are there too. They all have other life. They all have context that you don't know and you don't understand. And this is my message for you today. Live your own life. Set your own goals. Set your own targets. There are a lot of things that is way possible. You can dream of buying a car. You can dream of earning a whole lot of money from your 9 to 5. Yes, whatever it is that you can have big dreams. Stop thinking locally. I always tell my mother always say, if you are going from Nigeria to UK as a global talent, be a proper global talent. Because many people will go from Nigeria to UK and boom, they're out of job. They cannot even land a job because they are thinking locally. When the people are telling them, hey, learn this skill, learn, they were saying, hey, in my work, I'm the best designer. At the moment they were now comparing them to other people, other designers globally, they come short. I'm the best marketer in Nigeria. I'm the best marketer in Ondo State. I'm the best marketer in Lagos. But you went to the UK now, you came short. You could not compete globally. So when you were in Nigeria, if you have been thinking for yourself as a global person. Hey, I want to make sure I'm a global talent. I want to be good globally. You won't have come short when you traveled. So you need to grow. You need to set your own success target. You need to read books. You need to listen to podcasts. You need to explore a lot of things. You need to broaden your horizon. So that you can even see what is possible in life. You can see what you can even chase, the real deal. Level up away from this I better pass my neighbor crab mentality of Nigeria, and you want to level up, be a global person, imagine things, grow, build things, scale up your life, you know, read books, listen to podcasts, broaden your horizon, so that your vision. I always say this thing: it's only what you are exposed to that you know exists. That's what you can even dream about at all. When you limit yourself to just your neighbor and all of these things, it brings you down. Okay, like I always say, try and share this podcast with anybody that you know will find this podcast helpful. Thank you for listening. I'll see you some other time.